Hello, everyone, and welcome to Mastafran Artstream. I'm your host, Mastafran, here with another fine art stream tonight, March 12th. It's a fine Thursday night. Usually I would stream on Wednesdays, but my schedule's constantly slipping. I'm not going to pay too much attention to that, because I basically just stream whenever I need to. Hope everyone's doing well, because I've been all over the place, I'll argue. I think what I can really say overall is kind of just been busy with the work. I recently got my CDL, or at least renewed my CDL, so now I can keep my job as a driver, and that's kind of just been just the big notable thing that's been on my mind overall. Tackling some tiny commissions. They aren't like ginormous, but worked on a co-worker commission. You've probably seen it online if you follow me here on Blue Sky at Mastafran.com. Like if you go on Blue Sky and type in Mastafran.com, you will actually just find my profile, because that's how verification works in Blue Sky, which is kind of nice in like that intuitive sense, where it's like no one else has a domain but me, because, well, I own the domain. I'm paying money out of my pocket to do the stuff, so that's pretty nice. And so far it's been pretty okay. So what have I really been up to for, I'd say, the past, I forget the last time I streamed. Guess I'll probably just chat about just what I've been up to just most of the week. So what I've been mostly doing, I guess, these days is I've mostly been writing more Black Mass stuff. I've been just in the process of kind of just writing characterization for one of the kingdoms, or at least one of the chapters, where Cole will go out to a specific country, and he will explore the place, find the dungeon, get the MacGuffin, and he fights that enemy, the little bad of the day, and deal with that problem. It's that typical style where hero walks into town, encounters a problem, and solves a problem because he's a cool guy. So that's me kind of writing and getting myself more comfortable, just being confident in my own decision, and kind of just trying to just not fret so much about making a initially amazing draft, but just get something down and then edit it to something cohesive, and do things like pay attention to the characterization. Are the characters consistent? Do you have a coherent theme that you can stick to, so everything is in a cohesive setup when it comes to the character interactions and the big problem, and the overall saying everything. I think starting actually properly starting from a log line has been helpful enough. At first I was kind of struggling to figure out how the hell a log line is supposed to help me, but I've kind of come around on it. It's a simple thing from a lot of script writing books, Save the Cat will talk about that, where essentially you have the hero and they need to do something, and they need to go do a thing, or else other thing happens, or else the stake of the fiction happens. And that's the, in a nutshell, way of explaining how a log line works. And trying to make a log line is also about making sure you are able to kind of knock in the emotional stakes, get in you know, the big like emotional hooks of like why people, who the person is, why people should care about them, and not get bogged down by deeper details, because you know the core hook will just be there. So that's you know, that's me kind of like doing that with that. But I'd say that's probably the most I've really been doing. Other than that, I've been working on you know, just elaborating on cutscenes, because this has kind of been like, I've not done a whole lot of stuff with my cutscenes, mostly just polishing all the leads and stuff like that for Black Mask. Still need to work on this. Like, this was the cutscene that I was working on last stream, but I still haven't like gotten back to this. But I need to at least do some more just work. I've gotten tiny things done with this, but nothing significant. Probably could like rework some of these leaves. The tough thing about leaf pixel art is that, you know, you got squares and stuff like that, and nothing will really like taper like leaves. You have to like kind of finesse it a bit. And I would have a pixel perfect type thing, or would have a you know, a pen pressure thing, but for some reason I still can't figure out. The pen pressure just flat out doesn't work. I can touch it completely light and it still will not just do the pen pressure thing. Press it hard, it doesn't change its size. It's still the same size, 14 pixels. No matter what I change it to, it doesn't even do the razor thin pixel that I need. Like, I used to be able to just do things razor thin, but for some reason nothing's sticking. I don't know if it's the way I installed Sprite, because I've actually had a bit of a, I've actually been having some real trouble with Sprite sometimes with like some of the builds and stuff like that. Like, the Steam version was lagging for some reason, so I just switched to the actual, I guess the non-Steam version, like the one that's not connected to Steam. And you know, for some reason I tried installing it to my my like main software solid state drive, and for some reason it just wouldn't stick. And you know, I really need to just get back to working, and it just wouldn't stick. So, you know, to save myself the frustration, I just reinstalled a Portal version, and it significantly slowed me down. And I don't know, I've been having tiny problems since, and it has kind of killed my willingness to deal with pixel art stuff in tiny ways. But yeah, what I'm doing with this project, or at least today's project, is I'm actually seeing if I can finish this pixel art that I've been, because I started working on this on March 10th, which is Mario Day, or you know, it's March 10th, MAR 10-0 or 10, because like it looks like an I and an O, Mario Day. I don't think it's the actual release of Super Mario Bros. It's just, you know, it's fun wordplay. It's literally just, that's it. And I had a collection of Mario re-sprites that I made quite a while ago, back when they were doing that that trend of making remake sprites of Princess Peach initially. And you know, I expanded to, you know, the Mario Bros. And then Toad. And I realized, you know, why not just have Bowser in as well? Because, you know, he's a notable character. So I wanted to have something done for Mario Day that day, but I just did not. You know, life got in my way, and I just, you know, that's just life, you know. I didn't get my daily sprite stuff done, and and I'm sad about it. I can't be sad about it, but it is what it is with that. So I am trying to at least get something done. And weirdly enough, I'm kind of like wondering whether I shouldn't even be like work on this. Maybe I'll like work on this next week or next year. I don't even know how I can really explain it, because it is far off the trend of, you know, the Princess Peach thing. I don't know. But yeah, I just, you know, I was already in the middle of the sprite, so I figured why the heck not. So I'm decided to try and just get this sprite done. So that's how I'm just gonna have this day, or at least this night. I actually don't even know if I'm gonna get to the cutscene because it's still fairly late and I started the stream late, but I don't know if I'll stream Saturday or something, but you know, I'm thinking about it. But yeah. In other news, I am prepping for a podcast interview tomorrow. It's, you know, it's more like entertainment thing by Cartoonists by Night. They're a nice group. They just do like little talk sessions with creators, and yeah, it's pretty nice. They spoke with like Dave Scheidt for the writer of Mayor Good Boy. So yeah, if you know about that notable like children's book, that's pretty fun stuff. And yeah, it's pretty good. I can't believe that they want to speak with me, but obviously I can't just let imposter syndrome destroy me right now. So yeah, I'm kind of just mentally prepping myself for that. Yeah, it's pre-recorded, so I'll let you know, I'll post it when it's actually, ready to be seen, or at least ready to show, or at least the person tells me about, what's happening with that. So, I will, mention that later. But yeah, kind of just prepping for that, and otherwise I'm living my life. That's all I can really say is I'm living my life and trying to just take things one day at a time. I guess I've kind of just been in a slight stress situation and feeling, I guess, anxious. And I think maybe prepping for that convention thing, not convention, but prepping for that podcast thing probably contributes to it. But I was feeling this before, so I could probably deduce that that's probably why I've kind of just been slipping on my schedule. Just I flat out do not feel like streaming, and as much as I could be like, oh, that's unprofessional, but it's like I'm streaming in my spare time for free. Like, I don't really know what I can really say about this other than like, that's kind of just how that goes. I'm not much of a streamer. I don't really intend to be a streamer with this. This is literally just I'm drawing and you can watch me draw type things. But yeah, yeah. What else? I should like to get my Bowser references, cause this is sort of a, I guess, a lawyer, or a accurate Bowser. It's not lawyer friendly. I was saying lawyer friendly for some reason, but no, it's the actual Super Mario Bros. Bowser. This is the Nintendo Consumi Bowser. So, yeah, it's kind of just one of those things. But I'm just gonna bring out my refs just to, just have that close. I've actually kind of taken some liberties with Bowser. I think I've made his horns like slick back because, it just looks aesthetically right, and I believe it actually, well, no, it's Earth space, but I guess for some reason I've kind of just decided that this, I guess this looks aesthetic, so that's kind of why I'm doing this kind of Bowser thing. But But yeah, a lot of this has been just massive polish, just overall polished as Bowser. This is a very large sprite, and I think I've been working on this sprite for, shoot, I'm not timing myself, so I've kind of been I guess I've lost track of like how long I've been working on this sprite, but it's mostly in my spare time, I'll say that much. I think what I've really been doing in terms of like black mass pixel art is mostly just polishing those leaves specifically. So I've been doing that, and other than that, just living life. So, it is what it is with that. I recently got my taxes in, and I mean, it is what it is. I live in a society and I want to kill myself. Nah, I shouldn't kill myself, you know, but holy cow, the world kind of is just all over the place, and I'm kind of like, man. And it's one of those things where I obviously can't just despair about stuff, but holy cow, man. I don't even know what's happening in general. And I'm kind of like, okay, maybe it's nothing, you know, nothing ever happens, and I'm probably just like being anxious over nothing. But it's like, not only is there a possibility of World War III, but, you know, well, actually, no, that's the core thing. I was about to say, like, gas prices are probably gonna be rising up, and I gotta fucking deal with that. But that's like small potatoes compared to the potential of fucking World War III. So, hopefully, I mean, obviously it's nothing. It's probably nothing. But holy cow, bro. You know, I feel as if, you know, I can't really think about this at the moment. I think the truth is it doesn't really matter. And I'm probably just fretting over nothing. But holy cow, sometimes things just feel out of control, and it doesn't make my weird control boy persona happy, you know. I do not like it when control is not in my hands. I do not like that I can't predict the future, and things are very, very unpredictable. And holy cow. I'm hoping that nothing crazy really affects me, but of course, I'm sure something will affect me. Like, obviously, I've probably got like a smaller tax refund with that kind of stuff. But that's like, that's kind of like, it's probably negligible. Like, I didn't like do a lot of selling at last year, so it's probably an absolute nothing brew with that. But still, it is kind of a disappointment where it's like, okay, you're doing your taxes, you're making okay sales, and your expenses aren't like so crazy, and you can write off a lot of stuff that I've needed to write off. Like, I've been able to write off obviously you can write off game purchases because I'm a game developer on good days, but it's one of those things where I do feel awkward about, sometimes I feel weird about, like, how do I explain my general art job to, the layman. The tax person's not, like, that layman, but it's one of those things where, he's always curious about how my job works. And I guess the way I explained it is, it's kind of like, it's contract work. You basically just get a job, someone asks you, hey, can you do this, for lack of better words, commission? And I say, yes, these are my rates, and, this is how much you pay me. I do the thing, we we have some fun, and yeah, I just ask you about, what's cool to you and what kind of like what's cool about your character and stuff like that kind of thing. And I kind of just explain that to him. I don't like go into crazy elaborate detail about like, okay, what kind of art do I make, but it's just super basic boilerplate. I make art for other people who ask me to make art. So yeah, that looks pretty decent. But yeah, that's kind of pretty straightforward. In terms of, I guess, extreme like financial advice, one, I don't know any financial advice. I'm not a CPA. Go to a CPA for financial advice. And two, I've been decent at just, buckling down, not spending more than I can, make. I'm pretty frugal when it comes to, not spending so much on frivolous expenses like, well, I could probably argue that eating a lot of out fast food is frivolous. I could say that. I'll admit that I do eat too much fast food because I'm never home and I don't think to pack a fucking lunch. Ugh. I could pack a lunch, Why don't I just pack a lunch? I could totally save money. And honestly, at this point, I probably do need to just save money. But I'm probably just going all over the place right now. I guess the core point of everything is that, I don't spend a crazy amount of money, and thus I'm able to at least make arguably sound business decisions. Like I could probably say that I've made some I'm still figuring out how I market my work as an artist. How do I let people know, hey, I do this stuff? I guess I'll just say, yes, I have an online store and I sell my artwork with stickers and all that stuff. And it's pretty some fun stuff. If you got like a bunch of stickers, I even sell like sticker packs. And you get like 4 stickers for 20, so it's pretty fun with that. Because usually you get like if you get the stickers individually, it's $5 each. But it's kind of a 3-for-1 sale. So that's kind of one of those things that I'll say is pretty nice. But anyway, it's one of those things where I kind of just do it, and it works enough. Let's see. I could probably like do something like this. I do something like this. That looks like a poster. Now looking at it, it kind of blends in. I wonder. That can work. Do that. Have this be the flesh. Yeah, that's looking better. I go back to the green, because the green was the green was looking much better. Do that. And I could probably like have it blend in as like a little gradient to say, hey, this is shading. So it's these tiny little details matter enough. And I'm not really making this pixel art to keep hardware limits intact, so this is kind of just me vibing with this pixel stuff. Most of it kind of just say, hey, I'm still alive, I still do this stuff. just right here. That looks aesthetic. That looks aesthetic. But yeah. Tonight I am mostly just vegging out in general. Like everything else kind of just, me kind of just doing whatever I want. I'd probably just make this. Ooh, that looks cool. How does his shells work? So looks like mostly like a football thing. That's kind of cool. Okay, I think I figured out a nice way to kind of like add slightly more detail to this, and that's like, you're kind of like doing the Bowser thing. Okay, this is looking kind of cool, actually. Have like a nice, like, sleek, cel-shaded style. Like a nice black cel shade. Yep. It looks absolutely dope. That is actually kind of nice. That was looking kind of nice. Okay. Now this is actually pretty nice, I've got a little pressure off my head. I think that's kind of just what I'm doing, is I'm not putting so much pressure on just making this look exceptional right now. I think that's kind of that's the funk that I've been feeling overall, is just this worry that what I'm doing is not going to look exceptional, when I don't need to make it look exceptional. Like, at the end of the day, this all ain't a competition. Like, if I make it, I make it. If I don't, I don't. Like, it's not that big of a deal. And I feel like his shell is under his tail. I feel like his tail is like over his shell. So I'm gonna do this. Yeah, that looks good. Oh. Now, when's the last time I've actually played a Mario game? Played Wonder on the Switch. I beat Wonder, or at least got the credits. Like, I got through, the most normal worlds. I did not bother taking on Special World. I was doing the first few levels of Special World, I was like, holy cow, this is actually, yeah, these levels are real. But yeah, in terms of Mario stuff, I've really been playing a lot of Mario. Like, I still have Mario Odyssey in my backlog. I have not played it at all. Like, I have not done anything. But what I have been playing recently is I've been playing Deadlock recently. Like, I've been playing more of Deadlock. You probably remember me playing Deadlock earlier in the other previous streams and stuff like that. But so far, it's been kinda nice. I've been understanding how to play the game, though I've yet to really master the notable movement mechanics and all that stuff, because there's some like bigger movement stuff that, you know, most people who care about that stuff actually would dig. Like there's some like dashing and dash jumps and dash cancels and stuff like that that I feel like if someone, you know, if people were more into that stuff, it's pretty solid. I'd say, you know, if you're a person who really like doing rocket jumps in Team Fortress 2, you will really like just learning how to do stuff in Deadlock. So that's you know, that's neither here nor there. I'm probably never going to really do well with learning that movement, but it is what it is. I mean, I've been playing a lot of Street Brawl, so I haven't actually been playing the MOBA proper, and you know, I need a weekend to actually just do the MOBA proper. But otherwise, you know, Deadlock's pretty nice, and that's kind of just been the big thing that, I guess, the big modern game that I've been playing overall. I think this is arguably the most modern game I played in memory. Actually, no, I played a little bit of Fortnite with my friend, and Dead by Daylight, because he got me that for my birthday. And I've been playing those games, but I guess they're not like attaching to me, or at least they're not really catching my imagination, so to speak. Other than that, not really doing a lot of video game stuff, but I do want to, I guess I want to get back to game stuff. I've actually been playing Kirby's Adventure, so that's kind of been the other notable video game things that I've been up to. Just, you know, I was playing Kirby's Dream Land like a week earlier, beat that in like an hour, and I was like, you know, this is kind of fun. You know, I've never played Kirby games proper, so I'm like, you know, let's play more Kirby games. And it's kind of funny because Kirby's Adventure is apparently the original version of Nightmare in Dreamland, which I do remember playing, because Nightmare in Dreamland was kind of a remake of Kirby's Adventure, but it had like elements of the Kirby anime. And, you know, I was playing that because the Kirby anime was on, and, you know, I just knew about that. And I never really put two and two together when I was a kid, because, you know, people don't play Kirby games that often. I mean, people do play Kirby games, but it's like, at the time, like, nobody did a significant amount. Okay. He has like a little spike in the back, so put that there. Put that there, okay. But yeah, I haven't like gone crazy far in Kirby's Adventure of like, you know, you clear the first level, you beat the crap out of Wispy Woods because Kirby's a friend to all except that goddamn Wispy Woods. Fuck that tree. For some reason, Kirby just hates Wispy Woods, and it's the funniest shit. But no, it's one of those things where I'm kind of just getting through. I just casually just play the game, and it's one of those like I'm in bed and I just want to take my brain away and not. I guess I'm playing a video game and I'm not streaming it, and I think that's kind of what's up. Is I'm not feeling pressure to perform, and I think that's kind of what has been. I guess that's what's been eating me, I suppose, is for, I guess, the past few weeks, I felt like this pressure to make things happen, and right now I've kind of like feel like, oh no, I am not like doing the most to maximize my relaxation or maximize my content creation and stuff like that. And no, I can enjoy games without telling people about it. So that's kind of just overall that gist is, sometimes I can just play a game and nobody needs to know. I don't have to like do things for content or nothing like that. So I need to just remember that about myself is I'm an artist, not a content creator. I might be a game developer, but I'm not a content creator. That's the notable trap I'm actually kind of just noticing, is that if you end up putting yourself in a situation where you're doing more like YouTube videos and like, making how to make games tutorials and stuff like that, you're not really making games because you're just making videos. You're making YouTube videos. I mean, obviously there's nothing wrong with it, but you're not making games. And I think personally, I feel as if I'm feeling constant, I guess, personal imposter syndrome when I tell people, oh, I'm currently working on a game. Well, I mean, I'm kind of sort of working on a game, especially right now when I'm making this stupid Bowser thing. Like, I'm kind of making a game as in kind of writing these cutscenes, I suppose. And you're kind of, you're making the art. You're an artist, or at least I'm an artist, and not just an artist, but I'm a pixel artist. So of course I'm a game developer. Video games need art. Otherwise they'd just be software. They'd be text documents. In terms of stuff my programmer's been up to in terms of making the game, I mean, he's been working on the boss fight and stuff like that. And the most he's really mentioned is he's kind of like adding like little interesting phases of like what NAD can do. And apparently he was recently watching the Kevin Costner Robin Hood, and he kind of like got inspired to do some stuff with NAD. And I'm kind of like, all right, make sure you're not like padding stuff, because I'm of the type who will like strictly adhere to the adage to not like frickin' work on a thing forever, and so I'm constantly just worried all over the place because, and I'm sure my programmer is just fairly talented, but again, I do not want to be that guy to be like, I want to ask for the moon, That's why I'm fairly conservative when it comes to telling people what what Black Mass actually is. I mean, I am going through those beats though, because essentially Cole is treasure hunting, and we have the broad stroke story of he goes to these islands and he solves like these boss fights, and he stealths his way inside and he will explore these dungeons, and that's how he gets the MacGuffin. And we have 4 core areas. We don't want to exceed 4 areas. Like, I am writing strictly for 4, and everything else is like, the scope. Sometimes I wonder if my scope's too large, because even though it's a Game Boy game, it's like this globe-trotting adventure, and sometimes I wonder if I'm not accidentally making an RPG because of all of my sketchbook. And I would love to make an RPG, but I would also like to finish this game sometime today. So that's kind of just me, that's me just saying I can't just make an RPG. I don't have the team, I don't have the time, I don't have the resources. But I would love to make an RPG, man. I would love to make Final Fantasy. I would love to at least design a cool party for an RPG. But of course, that's kind of just far down the line. Like, there's a lot of things I would love to do as a person who likes drawing characters. Like, I would love to make, like, a fighting game, of course. Some black kid, of course I'm a pixel artist, of course I want to make a fighting game. You learn how to make a pixel art, then you're not gonna try to like be like, I'm gonna try to see like how much animation it would take to make a fighting game, and then you look at how much animation it takes to make a fighting game, and then you decide not to make a fighting game because you don't have the gumption. Other people have the gumption, but I do not. I kind of got burned out by a fighting game commission. I'm kind of like, it turned out amazing, everyone loves it, but either I charge more for it or I do something different, because I'm kind of just I think I'm probably burned out on that, which is odd because I do want to make more, I guess, pixel art in general, because I feel like I've been neglecting my pixel art and making pixel art. Like, I do a lot of drawing, and I draw in my day job, but I don't really pixel art as much as I want to. And a bit of that is I can't pixel art in a sketchbook. Like, pixel arting is, it's not portable. I need a computer to make pixel art. But I do have an iPad with PixSquare. Of course, even though it's an iPad mini, it still just doesn't feel as portable for, me just going to work. Like, going out, working on the thing, and then picking up and stopping. Like, I can't get into that mindset of just the constant start-stop, so I guess that's kind of just me just complaining, making excuses. It is what it is with that. Oops. Okay. I'll just put some eyebrow on Bowser, and that's plenty. Because I can't be spending so much time on just his eyebrow. I think I've got most of what I need down. Okay. Probably could stand to put a bit of a zhuzh here. Yeah, that's what it's all called, the zhuzh. It's a little bit of a coolness to it. Wonder if I should do, doing this would be cool. Alright. Alright, it's looking kind of good. Looking cool, Bowser. You know what? Let's nudge this down. That way, it's even no matter, it's even no matter what. That still just looks fairly solid. now it's kind of like looking like... Okay. Good, good. I have half of mine to like put like a little rim like white just to indicate that this let's put that there. Now work. Good, good. Okay. Look at you broadly. I keep thinking I should at least add more like stuff to the toes, because that line's supposed to like look like shading, but it's not really working overall. I also think I could add more teeth. Yeah, just more teeth in general. Yeah, that's plenty. Looking real fearsome. Probably could like add like a little bit more of this to just give them a bit more shading. Maybe like thicken the butt just a bit, kind of like have it distinguish away from his tail. Or you know what, overall just get rid of that. Because that way it won't be confused for his tail. Feel like I'd probably like put arm higher. Okay. Wonder if I can do like a how dark is this alpha wise? Not really dark. Continue the black lines, perhaps. Yeah, maybe I'm kind of like being anal about this. Get rid of this and just be like that. And just fill it completely with green. White looked decent. Probably could just thick this line up some more. Yeah, probably like thin this out. At this point, I'm kind of just trying. At this point, I'm just hitting finesse mode. Where I'm just in finesse mode. You know, it's kind of just and shit to add shit. Let's just add dither and just be done with it. If all else fails, just dither. You can always dither. Because dithering is the shortcut to good pixel art. I mean, not really. Like, dithering... I mean, dithering works in tiny things, but other than that, like, dithering's okay. Use this as a rim light. Rim light. Rim light. Now, looking at it, it's not working. It's sort of working. I like looking at my preview screen just to see how it's looking at the broad strokes. I mean, yeah, again, I'm trying to figure out the hard lines. I feel like that's just more than enough. I'll just do this maybe. It's a little cheap, but it kind of works. Nah, that's too much. You. No. No. Yeah, maybe I'm just hit that plateau with this. I will at least refine this line because the line's a little jank. I could just leave it clean though. I keep saying probablys and maybes when I should be more confident in my decisions, but in life, you know, you're constantly experimenting. That's art. That's the nature of making art. You don't know if a piece is going to work until you just actually experiment. Otherwise, you end up kind of just doing the same shit again and again and not really learning from it. What I probably should have did was not rely on black outlines, but because it's an NES game, I probably could do something. Probably could do something where I add very subtle scales. The most subtle scales imaginable. I use the green to kind of just scales. Yes, use the extra pixels kind of just add some more shading. Put some pixels on the ass, put some like pixels on the knees. Fine detail. That looks kind of good. And kind of just have this at the end of the tail. That should be plenty. Okay, maybe like one more. Cause I'm like looking at the broad strokes thing and it's looking. Alright. Bar's looking kinda chunky. That's good. Looking real good. Probably do some like real subtle things like add like a slight shine to his nose, maybe? That's a little too much. That's pretty nice. This is looking half decent, actually. Yeah. Honestly, you know, this is looking decent. There's a nice, like, Bowser. I think I can let this go, huh? I think I'll do that. Just let it go. I'll probably refine the scales here. No, let it go. Let it go. Or better yet, just one more thing just here. Just get rid of this. Make it just more line cohesive. Even this out some more. Good enough. It's good enough. I'm letting this go. I gotta let this go. Because otherwise, I'm never gonna stop this. And you know what? I think I'll just wrap the stream because it's like 8:30 and I actually just want to sleep. I wake up at like 3 in the morning and just, you know, kind of just fall away. But honestly, this has been a nice talking session. I mostly just said what I need to say and kind of just updated people. I need to at least establish either a new schedule or something like that, but yeah, I just need to do something completely different. Anyway, I will be streaming next week. I don't know exactly when. Sometime Wednesday, probably Thursday. I will, or maybe Tuesday. I think Tuesday I'm freer. But follow me, you know, check my socials. I announce it pretty much on Blue Sky, but honestly, I'm hitting a point where I just don't even bother announcing stuff on Blue Sky. Just, you know, I'm on stream, and if you're paying attention, great. If you're not, I'm gonna be drawing anyway, and that'll be that. Anywho, thanks for stopping by. I hope everyone's doing well, and have a good night.